Hi, my name is Lexa D'Amico, and this is my video on my biography project paper. I decided to do research on Millicent Simmonds, who is a deaf actress. Through Hollywood, we most know her for her role in A Quiet Place, which she did an excellent job, in my opinion. But I really enjoyed researching her and learning about her, as I also got to learn a little bit more about the deaf community. As a hearing person myself, I don't know a lot about it, and it's hard to be able to say I understand because I don't. So it's really cool to see someone who's so big in the media portray herself as she calls it a normal person, and how she doesn't need the stigma surrounding her just because she's deaf, and I think that's really cool. So a little bit about Millicent is that she was born on March 6, 2003 in Utah. She was born deaf because her mother was taking some sort of medication that I was unable to find out. She was taking some sort of medication when she was pregnant with her, and that's why she became deaf. She does wear a cochlear implant, but she prefers to use American Sign Language to communicate, because that was just her first language that she learned, and it was easiest for her to communicate and feel the most comfortable with. And she has kind of used that to navigate in her daily life. She strongly identifies within the deaf community and is really big about embracing her culture. She participates in a lot of deaf advocacy groups and making sure she really advocates for them, especially if she has interviews or any red carpet events like that. And because she talks about how one of the challenges that she faced is there's not a lot of representation for deaf people in mainstream media, and so it's hard to navigate in an industry that doesn't provide any accommodations or roles for deaf performers. So she has really become a prominent figure, especially for the deaf individuals in mainstream media, because she has been playing such this large role, and she did such an amazing job in A Quiet Place, and I feel like it brought a lot of awareness just from that movie, even though that wasn't the purpose. That wasn't the purpose of A Quiet Place, actually, if you didn't know that. She talks about it in an interview, which I think is really cool. And so she encourages deaf individuals to embrace their identity and really go out of their comfort zones, because she thought that when she was little, because she was deaf, she was just never going to have any opportunities, and she ended up getting this huge role that has become such a big deal. They even made a second movie. And so she thinks it's really important. She expresses deep appreciation for the deaf community as well as American Sign Language, and she really values visual communication and building strong bonds with her community. And her career in acting has allowed her to bring that deaf representation to mainstream audiences that she wishes that she had when she was little, because she never thought it would be possible, which I think is really cool. And something else that I learned is that many deaf individuals report that their other senses become more attuned because of their reliance on other cues, like visual cues. And she talks about how her heightened visual awareness helps her in her acting, because it allows her to pick up on facial expressions and body language, and really allows her to play her character to its fullest extent, which is also really cool. But yeah, that is kind of what I learned about Millicent, and I hope that was interesting to watch. Thank you for watching.